Speaker John Boehner's plan to get Americans back to work attacks the president's good ideas and offers some bad ideas of his own. Today, the speaker gave his long-awaited speech on jobs and the deficit. Literally less than 1 minute in, he panned the president's plan as a, quote, poor substitute for the GOP plan. Then he presented his ideas. Drum roll, please. They involving fixing a tax code that is stifling growth and deregulating everything else.
The first aspect of that threat is excessive regulation, unnecessary federal regulations, removing some of the unnecessary government barriers, unnecessary regulation from a government that's always micromanaging. Tax increases, I think, are off the table. A constant threat of new taxes. Tax increases destroy jobs.
He then explained why he can't seem to come to terms with the president.
Sometimes the conversations that we have would be like two groups of people from two different planets who barely understand each other.
The president is from planet Earth. What planet are you from, Speaker Boehner? In fact, the only good thing I seem to hear was this.
Yes, my grandfather and my dad owned a bar, and I grew up there too. Tended bar. And, you know, you have to learn to deal with every jackass that walks in the door. Trust me, I need all the skills I learned growing up to do my job.
In that case, maybe Boehner can talk some sense into his party. Joining me now is Senator Bernie Sanders, independent from Vermont. Senator, thanks for being with us this evening.
My pleasure.
You've heard the Speaker's jobs plan, if that's what you want to call it. Deregulation, tax code, but don't touch the rich. How can we look at this as a way that would create jobs, Senator?
Al, you can only look at it and smile or maybe cry. It's the same old trickle-down economics that has failed year after year after year. This is what we heard from George Bush. Deregulate. Well, that's a great idea. That gave us the Wall Street disaster, where the crooks on Wall Street produced worthless products and ended up driving us into the worst recession that we've seen since the Great Depression. Tax breaks for the rich. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Well, we've done that for the last 10 years. And what has happened? Under Bush, we lost over 5 million private sector jobs.
Now, when you look at the fact that the Republicans have said, President didn't have a jobs plan, then he comes with his, they were going to bail the whole country out. They ran and took the House last year on where are the jobs. And then the Speaker comes out, the leader of the Republicans in the Congress, and really gives us stuff that we've heard for 30 years that really put us in this position in the first place. What do we do to turn this around? I mean, everyone's just talking. This shows no frills, no games. How do we get people back to work?
Well, I'll tell you what we do. First of all, the president has got to be very strong. I thought what he said before Congress last week is a good start. We've got to go further. Al, if you want to create jobs and want to create them quickly, you have to invest in our crumbling infrastructure. Everybody knows the need is there. Everybody should know that we're investing 2% of our GDP in infrastructure. China is investing 9%. They are building high-speed rails. We've got to do the same.
Right.
They are investing in sustainable energy, in wind and solar. We have got to do the same. They are building airports. We need to do that. We have a crumbling infrastructure. We can create millions of jobs as we invest in our schools. The president is right. School construction is right.
Right. Well, let me say this, Senator.
Al, yeah, go ahead.
No, but finish that last point because I want to show you something that's interesting to me. But go ahead.
All right. Furthermore, the president is absolutely right. At a time when we're struggling to make sure that our kids are educated at the same level or competing with kids around the world, you don't lay off hundreds of thousands of teachers and child care workers. In fact, you improve child care. You put people to work nurturing our kids so they're going to get off to a strong start in life. You make sure that we do not lose police officers or firemen who are fired from their jobs because of inadequate budgets at the local level.
See, that's exactly where I was going, because among independents, because this is going to be a battle for the independent vote. Among independents, 70% of those polls say exactly what you say. Provide money to hire teachers and first responders.
That's what the American people want, Al. Listen, under Bush, we lost 500,000 private sector jobs.
Right.
Their idea, the rich are getting richer. They don't need tax breaks. Corporations are making enormous profits. They don't need more tax breaks. What we do need from corporate America, Al, and this is a very, very important point, and I disagree with the president on this one. We need to change our trade policies. They are not working. NAFTA, CAFTA, free trade with China has not worked. We have got to demand that corporate America reinvest in the United States of America, rebuild our manufacturing sector, and produce the products that we and other countries consume.
No, I agree with you. I think that our trade policies, we definitely need to renegotiate. I disagreed with them when Democrat President Bill Clinton proposed it.
Right.
But
Me
the
too.
other thing I disagree with you is, I don't know where you've been that the rich are getting richer, because one Republican said yesterday in Congress, it's the poor that's getting richer. So you must not be up to date, Senator Sanders.
Yeah, no, I am up to date. I see what's happening in my state, and I see what's happening in this country. Bottom line, middle class is collapsing, poverty is increasing, and the people on top are doing better than they have for a very, very long time. Meanwhile, they are paying the lowest effective real tax rate that they have paid in decades. That's what Warren Buffett is saying. That's true.
I'm going to ask another billionaire about that later to start this show. But let me ask you this. The Boehner is also trying to act as though, oh, this is normal, they're beating up on us. You know, when they're doing well, when they're riding high in the polls, it's the people. Now, look at this clip. It's just, they're martyrs almost. They're being picked on.
This has been America's favorite whipping boy for 200 years. It's a difficult process, but it is what it is. And all I can tell the American people is that I'm going to try to do the right thing every day.
So they're America's whipping boy. He's trying to do the right thing. But how can the right thing be, with 9.1% unemployment, to just come with a lopsided economic policy of protecting those that have the most and really not dealing with those that need the help?
Al, the truth is, by the way, real unemployment is 16%.
No question.
All right, 25 million people. Look, let's be very clear. What Boehner and his friends are about, very nice guys and all that, what they are about is protecting the interest of the wealthiest people in this country and the largest corporations. That's what they do, and they do it very well. Our job, and the president has got to lead us in that direction, is to make it clear to every working person in this country that he is working hard and has a plan to create millions of good-paying jobs, balance our budget or move to a deficit reduction in a way that is responsible, that does not attack the most vulnerable people in this country. And if you do those two things, create jobs, balance the budget in a responsible and fair way, protect Social Security,
right,
protect Medicare, protect Medicaid, you know what? It's the right thing to do in public policy. He's going to win re-election by a large vote if that's how he focuses.
And the people in the country will win, too. Senator Bernie
Absolutely.
Sanders, thank you for joining me this evening. Always great to talk with you.